Hey everybody, I'm John, and it's just gotten so crazy out there. I'm up in Michigan, and the guy set the church on fire, locked people in there, hundreds of people, ran through the front door with his truck, and set the front doors on fire while shooting at people. I think he shot 11, 12 people, killed 3, I think, right off the bat. I'm not sure, but that's kind of hysteria and violence that's going on in the streets. The left lunatics are insane. People are just going insane, and it's happening all over the country. Anyways, I can't stand it anymore, so I'm doing some recording. I'm doing some videoing and venting. So thank you for letting me vent. And this might be a little sensitive to some of those. Some of it's a little spooky, and I apologize for any of my behavior as well. Check it out.
At the live scene on your screen right now, federal agents now have clashed with rioters outside that facility, that Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE facility near Chicago. So they were protesting peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls.
Where's your helmet?
And you could see all of the melee just moments ago, and now the federal agents are holding the line against the rioters.
Holding the line.
They were 2 feet apart. Now they're a little bit farther apart, and if the camera could pull out, and I know that our reporter Mike Tobin is on the ground. He's with this photographer. I don't know if he can hear the sound of my voice, but we want to be able to see exactly. We've got most of the sign, but you see off to the left or the
Here's where they are.
Yeah. On the other side of the sign, the protesters are being pushed back.
That's a business park.
Now, there has been a lot of protesting, but again, this turned into something different. Broadview, Illinois, outside of Chicago. And agents formed a line just seconds ago. I want to bring in Mike Tobin. Mike, did something like this in one direction, or did things just get too crowded? And was there any purpose in their movements as agents had to begin firing pepper balls at anti-ICE rioters?
There seem to be two incidents that drove what we're seeing right now. One, there was a vehicle that had to come into this temporary facility.
I mean, you would think that with all of that pushing back from federal agents, people would just turn around and go home. But they are waiting. What is the wait for? Have you talked with any of them?
I call it rioting. Some people might say
well, it usually increases the number once there's a conflict. It encourages them. You got to keep in mind the protesters who show up at a place like this with the painters' masks on, with the keffiyehs and whatnot. They're looking to make a statement, but they're also looking for the drama. They're not afraid of having a conflict. In fact, I think some of them are pretty encouraged to have some form of conflict. And when you see the line form up, that's where the conflict occurs, Harris.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host Harris Faulkner and Katie McEnany on Outnumbered.
This is the winning crowd.
Every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.
Leaders in Broadview accused agents of violating laws and putting their community at risk outside an ICE facility there.
And the village's police chief even says agents verbally assaulted him and called him a fascist. Our investigative reporter Dave Savini spoke to the chief, who called this a public safety crisis.
In this village made it clear
they want ICE out of here
and they want its fence taken down.
I'm just saying, I'll bet they're going insane back there.
I know my job. I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says ICE agents are breaking the law every day this fence is here, blocking the village street in front of this detention center.
We are experiencing an immediate public safety crisis.
Look at that.
A wall of metal built secretly overnight a week and a half ago without a permit or permission from emergency responders who might have to get to people or businesses on the other side of this now locked fence. But it's not just a public safety issue. It is also a symbol of the divide between the tiny village and the federal government. Are you guys ready to just break that fence down if you have to?
We are. Well, we have been in contact.
And this is Broadview outside of Chicago. Could you just imagine little subdivisions? Every 10 blocks are like another little group of people hiding out. They got their guns, or they're walking the block. They're watching for ICE. Everybody's walking around with their camera in hand, block after block.
Contact with Public Works. They are equipped with with heavy equipment to get that fence down.
Heavy equipment.
And then there's the chaos and conflict at the gate. Several recent incidents where federal agents fired projectiles and chemicals into the crowd.
The deployment of tear gas, pepper spray, mace, and rubber bullets by ICE near the processing center in the village of Broadview is creating a dangerous situation for the community.
The Department of Homeland Security is running a disinformation campaign, and they are making war.
It's getting crazy, man.
ICE has to stop unprovoked.
The violence from these far-left lunatics has gone too far. They're insane, and it's turning into a battleground. If they got some kind of conception that they're going to fight the United States, they're going to take on the United States, because once you cross that line, you're hit. I mean, it's like when you have a warrant. You have to go into custody before you get back out of custody. That's just it. This is America, and that's called the rule of law. That's where we put the foot down.
Chemical arms attacks on peaceful protesters and on journalists.
Peaceful protesters. That's what we're talking about.
Behavior is not normal.
Broadview PD has officially opened criminal investigations into federal agents who were accused of striking people with vehicles in 2 separate incidents.
And he shot right here. You can see the point of impact right there.
Look at that.
Also under investigation,
an ICE agent that was masked pointed his weapon and shot directly at my car. He saw my window was open.
The firing of a chemical projectile at CBS reporter Asal Razai.
Did you get pictures of him? I know you had your phone in your hand.
Something the police chief addressed with me.
It's horrific.
And your reaction when you found out that a reporter was struck, her car was struck, and it went into her open window?
Oh, I just couldn't believe it. When it happened, like he said, it was no reason. I don't understand it.
The challenge now finding out the identities of the masked federal agents who were accused of crimes.
He's so delusional.
ICE responding to Broadview mayor saying, in part, Mayor Thompson is distorting reality, pointing her finger in the wrong direction while our officers are protecting her community and others from real threats, while also facing skyrocketing violence against them, including at the Broadview facility. Now, the chief says he has heard from the Department of Homeland Security, and he says they've told him they will cooperate, but he says they didn't say to what extent. In Broadview, Dave Savini, CBS News, Chicago investigators.
All right, Dave, thank you.
What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over America. Hey, stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need. You're divisive. No, you're not. You're being divisive. No, please, you don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people.
Pam Bondi sends a memo unleashing her prosecutors to respond to these attacks on federal officials at various locations around.
What you're trying to do is you're standing.
Migra. Chinga la migra. Know the Trump and know the troops. Including this one, if you are a member of an organization that is not part of know the Trump and know the troops. Fight back. Stand up. Know the Trump and know.
There's Old Glory. One little white American flag.
Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back.
They're disgusting.
Chicago is it?
They're disgusting. I can't believe there's 200 people there and not one of them is an American.
Licking boots. Chicago is it licking boots.
Stop Trump. Defend, expand immigrant rights. Oh, like the $1 trillion in free health care that Chuck Schumer demanded. You come off of $1 trillion, Trump, and we'll vote yes to be back in Congress. Stop police crimes. Defend LGBTQ and reproductive rights, which means let us kill all our babies, even after I carried it for 7 months. That's the real problem with that. There's no responsibility in the brains of most of these people, because that's exactly what they did. They're proud of it. They're proud that I carried that baby for 8 months and 3 weeks. Boy, scratch that. I'm going to cut that out of there. or not. They carried that baby for 8.5 weeks before they chose to have an abortion. It's absurd. These are the upstanding people. Everybody has its eyes on you.
If you are a member of an organization that is not part of this.
And so this guy here, and this guy here, these look like people that have house payments. Even maybe this lady, these look like people that are either working or should be at work, or they are at work. The funny thing is, it's not funny, but it's how illogical. I'm going to pull the Spock maneuver. How illogical is that? These people don't even have the ability to foresee what's going to happen with what you're doing. You're not going to beat the government. You're not going to beat the military down. You're not going to overtake Portland. You may cause a lot of damage and even kill people, but you're not going to overpower America, because that's what comes with America, is all the might. And do they even conceive that? I don't think they do. I think they're like a bunch of fucked up kids at a rock concert that are just whacked out of their mind. Look at this guy here. Yeah. This guy here. How many of these guys don't have house payments? This guy here's got a felon. He's got a warrant for his arrest. That's why he's got his face covered. Yeah, I know half these people. He probably does too. Anybody that's got a hoodie on, especially if it's warm out, they're hiding. And you can see a lot of people here aren't masked because they're not planning on doing anything dangerous or getting caught at it. It's when they all get together that they just lose their freaking mind. Or start letting somebody fill their brain with a bunch of horrific lies to finally make them tip off their cracker. Festival agents and activists flash as immigration raids. There you go. There you go. That's what we waited around for 3 hours for, right?
I got you.
I was out of whack. Look at that. And he probably had a good chance. But they're going to bring 6 guys to every one. That's what they're going to do. They're going to bring 6 people to every one.
I got you.
Hello, this is John. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's Walgreens. Walgreens on the corner. Up, I got one way, one the other way. It's on the corner of Saginaw and Waverly. No, Crates. It's Crates and Saginaw. What? CRYTS, I believe. We're on first name basis over there. I had all my meds going over there, but I just changed it back. But okay, I don't know, but I will call. If you're gonna call now, I'll call them in 20 minutes and check, or 10 or something. Okay. What's your name again? Virial? Yep. Okay. Okie doke. Thank you for calling. I was waiting for. They always email me or text me as soon as the script comes in, but it hadn't come yet. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. All right. Bye.
Stop. Stand by. Going 15. Stand by.
Come in with guns a-blazing.
Going 15 on hard north.
Crazy! Crazy! They're getting crazy! Oh! Crazy! Dragon, they got him! Get in here! They're going! They're going bye-bye! They got him! What? One over here, two over here. There they are! The National Guards! National Guard. I think that sounds like my sister. Oh my God. Crazy. Oh, and look at it. They got nice face masks. They have good quality gas masks. And some of them are rated at FR4, which is like caustic in mines and things, or probably military grade. Crazy. This is disgusting that this is how it's come in this community right here. That's what this is. This is appalling that this has come in to an American city right now. Let me tell you how bad this is. It's got people like me pissed off enough to yell about it. Because that's what it is. And it's disgusting. Charlie Kirk said it best. America is the only country people will hate, but they refuse to leave. And they are. They don't just hate the country. They hate you, me. They hate our liberties. They hate our freedoms, like gun control. Because you know, the only ones who'll have guns are the illegal people. That's how they work. Who cares about? Of course, you're gonna have a gun. I'm a thug in the hood, and that's how they do it. That's how they roll. I'm surprised there's not been more shooting already. Well, that's where we're at now. FAFO. That's where we're at right now. I can't see. I'm gonna pick a number. Let's have a number. I'm bet it's gonna be
tear gas.
68.
Really hard to breathe, even with the mask. It's
people
burning
arrested
into my
tonight.
skin.
This is Broadview. They're cleaning out the block.
They have completely fucking tear gas this whole neighborhood.
Cleaning out the block. These people got car payments, house payments. Somebody's paying them. And they probably drove 2 hours to get there.
Tonight, demonstrators hit the streets in what they describe as an emergency protest against the Trump administration and its use of ICE and Border Patrol agents in the city.
Let's talk about the timing of all this. This is after weeks of raids in the Chicago area. NBC5's Natalie Martinez live downtown tonight with the message that we're trying to get across out there.
You know the message.
They did have one out here. Let me just tell you, though, that they gathered enough people out here to manage to close off Upper Wacker, where we're standing right now, earlier tonight. And they did it for about an hour and a half. Their message is no Trump, no troops.
No
than 200 strong, protesters stood united Tuesday night in a protest and march in downtown Chicago.
We have to send a message to the federal government. We have to send a message to our city and let a lot of people in our city know that we're here. We're ready to defend it. You know, we're not.
Yeah, you're ready to defend it. What is this man talking about? Is he threatening the cops? Is he threatening us? Is he threatening Americans to come out and fight? You ready now? What are these people insane? I gotta flip this guy over here right now. This guy right here. I can't help but love this idiot. Come on, let me get him.
Is an unstable human being, and it's right for this moment to check him.
The clashes have largely been restricted to the western suburb Broadview,
Crazy,
where ICE has that processing facility. Harris, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. Tuesday's targeted immigration enforcement operation against suspected Venezuelan gang members involved more than 300 federal agents. And President Trump is now warning that the National Guard will be going into Chicago very soon. Those are his words. They are coming. Democrats in Chicago are lashing out against that. And here is Mayor Brandon Johnson.
This is not about safety. This is not about immigration. This is about fomenting chaos and terrorizing the people of Chicago and cities across America. This is absolutely.
This is where it really gets insane, that this leader is so mentally incapacitated that he thinks he's going to combat the U.S. Army. He thinks this is about scaring people and tactics done by Trump to keep everybody in their house and keep. You know what? Throw everybody out of the country that needs to go, and this would be done. As soon as this is over with, that'll be done. And apparently, this guy and a lot more like him are just freaking retarded.
Absolutely appalling. This president is an unstable human being, and it's right for this moment to check him. And we're calling on Congress to do its job. There's no way that anyone in this country should be okay with armed, militarized troops.
I know you're not. Not if he thinks he's going to get in trouble.
The mayor that has crime out of control in his city is now trying to do a psychological profile on the president. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Harris, that's exactly what he's trying to do. I just want to give Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, the authorities in Chicago, J.B. Pritzker, a little constitutional law lesson. Number one, what is happening in Chicago is entirely different than what we are talking about in Portland and in Memphis. Number one, ICE is conducting operations. They have the federal authority to conduct. The Supreme Court has been crystal clear. ICE can conduct operations. It is the sole purview of the federal government. Number one. Number two, federal agents have been deployed to protect an ICE facility. Oh, wait, where do you have the authority for that? Pretty clear. I cited it from the podium when we did this protecting the Portland courthouse. 40 U.S.C. 1315. You can deputize officers to protect federal property. Well, why do they need federal protection in Chicago at that ICE facility? Because DHS tweeted out pictures of what was found outside the ICE facility. Guns, handguns, weapons, 11 people arrested outside that facility.
Bam.
Donald Trump is crystal clear within his authority when he says I'm protecting an ICE facility and he deploys ICE to conduct operations. So any comparison to militarizing cities, it is totally unfounded. Perhaps pick up a constitution, maybe read some Supreme Court case law.
Well, look, when you press against the federal government, which has a military.
Even she knows how stupid they are. This behavior is not even, it's like drunk college kids on a weekend. I don't even know if they're that responsible.
In it. What do you think you're doing? I mean, of course you're going to get a response, and this isn't a one-off. We're seeing this more and more now, and we know the threats against it. So, you know, Rosanna, the thing that drives this, though, isn't the protesting necessary.
We'll get back with you. So, it is pretty much what it is that people have lost their mind. Yep, it's a shame that people have lost their mind. And they think that bringing in the National Guard and extra ICE is overreaching. They're right. You're right. They shouldn't be doing that. Why are the police of these cities and these states behaving like Americans and following and helping us deport all these people that are illegal Americans or illegal aliens, illegal Americans? They like that because that's what this is about. You simply aren't doing it. People, Brandon Johnson, what an insult to the name freedom. And he has the audacity to send, and that's it. That's exactly it. Oh, well, these people should be free enough to be here. You know what? This is our free country, and you got to do something to get in. And it goes in a procedure, and it's called migrating, and you can do it. And most of these people have been here I've been here 20 years. Now why don't you have your citizenship? Why don't you have your green card? You've been here 20 years and you're a hard worker. Why aren't you on it? How can you be how can you be this irresponsible? So irresponsible that you let years go by without renewing your citizenship or your card. All right, I'll catch you next time. Let's see if I can do this right. You can watch that one there. Is it going?
In the streets of Chicago, Illinois. This is a current situation. It looks like people have taken the streets protesting ICE and Border Patrol in downtown Chicago for the last couple days, as we've been watching on the channel.
Hey everybody, I'm John, and it's just gotten so crazy out there. I'm up in Michigan, and the guy set the church on fire, locked people in there, hundreds of people, ran through the front door with his truck, and set the front doors on fire while shooting at people. I think he shot 11, 12 people, killed 3, I think, right off the bat. I'm not sure, but that's kind of hysteria and violence that's going on in the streets. The left lunatics are insane. People are just going insane, and it's happening all over the country. Anyways, I can't stand it anymore, so I'm doing some recording. I'm doing some videoing and venting. So thank you for letting me vent. And this might be a little sensitive to some of those. Some of it's a little spooky, and I apologize for any of my behavior as well. Check it out. Oh man, there you have it. The left lunatics have lost their mind. They're going crazy out there. There's no boundaries. There's no limit to what they'll do. And now they think they're going to take on the government. They think they're going to overpower the army. They think they're going to be taking control. These people have lost their mind. They really have. And thank God we got Donald Trump on there and J.D. Vance and all their cabinet. These people are really saving the country. This is a time in our history that will be remembered as one of the most vibrant times and consequential presidency we've ever had. Donald Trump's going to be up there with George Washington. You betcha. Check.